On this episode, we get snowed in, get packages from Jegs, pick up some hot rod magazines, and Andrew learns how to operate a shovel. Welcome back. We're going to do an opening. So I was super excited. There are reports of us getting up to 28 inches of snow, with some even saying 36 inches in Virginia. So we ordered a bunch of parts from Jegs. It is Wednesday. We ordered them on Monday and we got them today. So I'm going to open up. This one looks a little crazy. So it came from FedEx. I thought we'd do a quick box opening. We ordered, should be that torque box. We talked about it. I ordered some fender patch panels for the 4-door in Alabama. Yes. So, yes. This is the piece that comes from Ausley's, and nothing wrong with it. We ordered a complete floor pan from Ausley's, got it at a great price. We picked it up from them at Carlisle, but you can see the difference. Yes. For anybody out there, I would just order the piece from Jegs. Look at I don't know if you can see. Can you see the length? Look at how much more. This is the piece from Jegs that I got today. That solves a lot of frustration and pieces that I didn't know. This is the piece that comes from Ausley's. When I lay them over the top, that's the difference. You can see the difference in the edge. So somebody needs this, I'm sure. So we're not gonna get rid of it, but this is a huge problem solver. Thanks, Jegs. So, what a difference. Like, I never would have thought, had I not looked at their online picture, to see that's huge. That's a huge, and the box was all beat up. Little paper would have been nice, I think, in there. But that's fine. So, and then I think this should be the torque. This should be the torque box, lower piece, and then 2 fender patches for Frenchie that's still in Alabama. So a little better airspace packaging. You got it. Okay, dang. So must have another piece coming. So I have gotta check my email. So here is the fender patches. Good stamping. Holy man. That's heavy duty. Good packaging. That's good, thick. Okay, so you gotta drill your own holes when you mount those on there. Not a problem. The little bummer I didn't get the must be coming in 2 different shipments. So not gonna freak out. Comes with an extra a hat, some stickers, but no sales ticket or sales receipt, which makes me feel a little uncomfortable because I'm missing the torque box or that lower assembly. So, okay, maybe I got another FedEx delivery coming. So far, half of that Jegs delivery absolutely crushed it. So thank you, Jegs. And if we know anybody at Jegs, thank you. You're doing a great job. That toe panel piece, that's a game changer. So just saved me a bunch of work. So thanks, Jegs. Bring on the snow. We're ready to work. Let's go. And on today's edition of How Far Will You Drive for Crazy Things, I am driving 45 miles out of my way to pick up what equates to, I think, 115 hot rod magazines from 77 to to 85. Complete set, 77, 78, 79, 9, 78, 79, 80, I think. So we'll insert a picture and let you know what it looks like when we get them. Come along for the ride. I just got home from work and we are going to open up the box. So it shows drop shipped from Keystone, Kansas City. I think this is, I've been calling it the torque box. I'm not exactly sure of the name, but it is the lower bracket that the bolt goes through on the firewall that connects it to the frame. So good bubble wrap. Oh. That's it. All right. Goes like that on the firewall. So thank you, Jegs. You can see that piece gets replaced by that piece. And we'll go on the inside. Stuff. So this piece replaces all that. If I can get you in there. Well, that is I think 65 bucks is what that piece cost. And you can see that is a good lip. That must meet up. Under there, like that. Welcome inside. We're gonna wait just a minute for the garage to heat up. Like the rest of y'all, it's cold outside. So we got 15 degrees. I think our shop was 20. So I got the little propane heater going, and I'm gonna wait till it gets to about 32 before we go out there and start working. So long list of things to do. What I wanted to do is bring you inside and show you one of the recent projects we've been doing. I call it research when I talk to Kelly. It's all these old hot rod magazines. So we started it really, I'm thinking October when the government shut down. I had some free time, so we were going on eBay and Marketplace, and what we were looking for was bulk purchases of hot rod magazines. The best one we had was Thursday, so we met Scott about an hour and a half out of my way. He had what turned out to be 108 magazines. I paid $100. Complete sets. It was really 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and then some random 82, 83, and 84s, but they actually came in these little binders, which I find fascinating, and I can't always find them on eBay. But what we're doing now is we're actually taking them out of those binders and putting them in their protective sheets, because all the research I do says that we're supposed to store them vertically in these acid-free storage containers. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna just quickly show, like, these are my off Amazon special. The oldest one I have is a June of 53, and it's in these bins. These bins hold 5 years. So the oldest ones I got, and I just last night bought 3 more 1950 magazines off of eBay. The goal is $3 or less. So when you do the math on it, for anything that's really 60 and older, the 59, those I'm starting to pay. I think I paid $15 for the magazines last night, understanding that they're a little harder to find. But I just like to collect things, and the goal would be to eventually have a complete set of probably 48 when Hot Rod started through, I don't know, say 2000. I think that's a pretty good little benchmark. Newer ones are much easier to find, but we've been having a blast just buying these magazines in bulk, inventory them. The boys help me, so I know what I need. So when I go on eBay, I can find, 57, 58, 59, and I know I need all of 59 and only a few from 57. So it's been kind of fun. But I just wanted to highlight what we're doing kind of to keep ourselves busy when it is cold outside. But I also wanted to highlight how cool these little Hot Rod magazine binders are and how easy they are to get out. So we're looking at, this is 76, which I think is a great year. These little, must be 11-inch steel rods. There's 2 receiver clips in there. magazines are folded in half, and it's super cool to be able to research it. I just wish that this was better for the magazines. You know, it's almost 50, these magazines are 50 years old, these 76 ones right now, and it's just better to store them vertically. So they don't go to waste. So some of the older ones that we've had, the covers that are ripped or tore, I kind of have been having a little bit of fun with them. So I take, you know, as an example, this was one of the magazines that was tore up. We laminate the Camaro bifold, cut it to the right dimensions in the middle so you can't really see the seam, laminate it. It cost me like 17 cents per lamination sheet from our little $30 Amazon special laminator, and then my little $10 frame here from Amazon. And that's a pretty cool little Camaro poster. So eventually things will get hung up in our garage. Some other little things that we do are, like, here's a 64, I think, 66. So November of 66. This is a cover from Hot Rod Magazine. It was all tore up. We got the rips kind of cleaned up, bifold front cover, and that's a pretty cool little advertisement. On the back is actually, that's all Pontiac stuff. I personally like the looks of the old school Hot Rod. So this is an article, I think, from 64. It talks about how the machine shop or your local alignment joint does your drive shaft shortening. So it's pretty cool. I love reading this old vintage stuff. So they're not going to waste. They're actually being read. It's, I guess, how I do my research. Every once in a while I'll read an article online and they'll reference like a 1968 Hot Rod Magazine article, and I'm able to go straight to the reference like a little library. So you'll see all these someday in our shop hanging up. But I'm going to go check the temperature in the garage and get back working. So thanks for watching. Come on, let's go. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and it is our first official snow day of 2026. So the storm came through. Our snow gauge said 9 inches of real snow, but there was some sleet and heavy rain, ice stuff. I'm seeing measurements in the 15 to 16, but it left a mess. So we have shoveled our driveway this morning. The boys helped. Andrew's out there now. You'll hear him shoveling out the neighbor's driveway and sidewalk as well. But it's been pretty awesome. And I doubt that we're going to have school tomorrow. So what I'm looking forward to is 2 days of being out in the garage finally. The excitement for the snow, watching the snow. I didn't get anything done out here. So not on the list, but I guess extra credit is I have to get this place cleaned up. So when we were working last week, we were doing a lot of angle grinder stuff. All these bins go up on top. If you've watched some of the early videos, we're going to get everything put away. Got trash in all the garbage cans. But then I do have some things that I want to work on today and tomorrow, and they are really that A-pillar, getting that cowl piece assembly mocked up. So not going to belabor it. We're going to do this 20 minutes or less. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're at, I think, 8:22, so we're well ahead of the 3 a day until next 1 October. So let's go. Okay, so I've spent a little bit of time chasing my tail here, so I thought I would do a quick video. So we bought this, what is the lower windshield channel repair piece, and I bought this before. We had one for the 68 wagon in Texas. I never put it in and never really took a lot of time to look at it. The catalogs, most say 68 to 72. The Southern Camaro and Chevelle, their catalog actually says 70 to 72. I think these, but I think these panels, these brackets come off, because I think this is what the dash, the 70, 71, 72 dash go into. So I've mocked it up on my piece here. I can get the tabs to line up. There's just, I think I have to cut almost all of this off, to be honest with you, to fit on the 68 to 69. And it is a major difference. While the catalog says they all do, hey, it requires cutting and grinding to fit this piece. It just seems very odd that it's that big of a difference. We're just gonna go with it. This piece is only 65 bucks. So this came through eBay, got here before the storm, not a big deal. There's 2 spot welds. We're just gonna drill them out. We'll mock it up here on this dash, but there's a lot of this metal. None of these tabs are on a 68, 69, and I've never done a 70, 71, 72 Chevelle. So we're going to keep watching YouTube videos. So I tried to call Jegs. Guy says can't say for sure, doesn't have any experience with building Chevelles. Same thing with Southern Camaro and Chevelle out of LaGrange. Can't find a lot on YouTube. This can't be that complicated. So we'll focus on maybe this patch panel because it's a pretty significant repair. So I need most of this. We're going to cut these tabs off and then start working on that. So I just wanted to bring you in quick, show you what we're working on. I'll let you know as this progresses, but this is something that I've been unable to find a solution for. So I know Dave enjoys when I do these spot weld driller out things. So I also found in the catalog, in the Jegs catalog, they send this little newspaper flyer, which is pretty cool. I'm going to hold it up to the screen, but I'll actually show you through an inserted picture. This is, I'm assuming that's a 70 style Chevelle dash. And if you look right here, that bracket corresponds to this bracket on that. It has to be. So I'm not trying to make this overly complicated. So 70 Chevelle dash, bracket, that has to be how the dash mounts in there. But obviously 69 Chevelle, plastic dash that does not go over the entire length of the interior. So that's not needed. And then I think I'm actually gonna spend some time and cut this channel long right now and get it where it'll mock up on that dash, because I need to know. That's the parts car. We took a little bit of heat from folks online about cutting up a perfectly good parts car. It was not good. This is an example of the upper windshield channel that we got out too. So I'll show you. That is fiberglass. I don't know, it looks like rope netting, some kind of patch that was already, I'm pulling it out of that upper piece. So folks can rest a little easier knowing that the parts car was like that everywhere. So even the pillar, I got a hole down here that I'm gonna patch. We'll do some inner coating in there, but that car. There's what we want. Make sure you can get a good view of that, right? So that is the dash. And now I'll bring up the piece that we just cut off. And what I'm hoping for is that it lays and follows the contour of the existing dash. So see those tabs line up? Oh yeah. So I will screw that down. Okay, everybody get a good feel for that. And then we will use the cutoff and then bring this by back. And this will replace probably a little further down, like we had said earlier, but that'll be the lower windshield. Yep, follows that contour. All my tabs are lining up. That's the same. Okay, so that's a good win. So thank you again to Jegs. This stuff will mark that, keep all the good, if you can see, because we got some rot in that lower panel there. That good metal will replace that. We'll massage it. That'll replace that. And this will be our repair pan. So I guess part of me struggles with, like, what do I show sometimes on YouTube? This one's for me. Our views are going down. It's okay. We're still at 819, 530 ahead of schedule. I guess they're not all sexy. This one's not sexy. Maybe I'll tell you to come on here a little bit. But I'm doing this one's for me. So, and maybe 200 of the folks that are actually doing a Chevelle. So this is the parts car pillar. This is coming off. This piece, I've showed it a dozen times, is this piece. And it fits under there. This piece right now is giving me some fits. So I've drilled it out. This is the inner rocker piece long. This, I think, is what's left of the floor when I cut out the floor. So the new floor pan down here, just the way it fits, instead of getting pinched between that, it will now rest here and it'll get welded. So this body has to come off the frame one more time to give me access to finish all these little plug welds, and I'm gonna do it. And it's gonna be tight and perfect. But what I'm debating now, and I brought the camera back out, because I know it's not sexy and not everybody wants to see it, but I needed to remind myself what I did. So I'm going to cut this panel, this inner rocker, about 6 inches here, cut it out, cut that piece of the floor, because it's all along the car, 1 inch is, it's like an L shaped, will stay in the car. It's just how it's going to be. But I need to cut this out, get this piece that I just showed you out so I can finish cleaning up this A-pillar and I can start putting it back together. A couple things that I thought was neat. So I did show you on the other video what was the tab. So this, remember the pillar is up. That's the outer rocker tab that we took our measurement from. That's the tab on the outer rocker. I'm replacing all of that, assuming I can slide that, looks like 3 or 4 inches. Looks like I can slide that behind this, which is why I'm thinking that I'm gonna cut this off. I will have complete access once this frame is out of the way, and I can work on the inner rocker. This, I can work on the seam that we'll have when we join the old outer and inner rockers together. So that's where I'm going. I just wanted to take a couple minutes so I can remember what the heck I did on here. And hopefully somebody else is trying to do the same piece. This comes out, this comes out. I have to get this little spot weld. That's the bracket where the dash rides on. I have some extra metal here that I didn't finish cleaning up. And then we got to get this piece here cleaned up. Panel, and I just looked it up quick. I paid 75 bucks a piece. They come in a kit, 149 I think through Southern Camaro. You can find them on eBay, a couple different brands. I think this was an AMD piece, but so it's really our first test fit now that all those patch panels are off. And basically that's how it sits and gets welded in there like that. I want to put some vice grips on it so I can get a feel of how everything looks. I'm not trying to over complicate this. I may put some screws in eventually, but this is such a heavy stamped piece. There was an alignment hole, and when I lined it up before, I know that the alignment hole was perfect when the bottom of this rocker to cowl reinforcement panel is even with the bottom of the outer rocker. So if that's outer rocker still there, that's in place. And what I want to do is put one more vice grip somewhere up high in here so I can actually see what we're working. My best bet is here. So those will all get spot welded along the door. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. So I can start to see some things I already got to do. I got to take a hammer and dolly and get, you can see where I've now, when I was removing the spot welds, I've beat that up. So I have to pull all that tight. Looks like it's a little high. But anyway, that is how that outer cowl panel fits. So we're going to really focus on just showing everybody some things that we learned. That is the piece that will do a lot for us. So we're going to set this guy to the side. Now that we know that's good, now we're going to transition to marking these new pieces from Jegs. So thanks, Jegs, super quick shipping. They were able to get us to them before the storm. We did get sidetracked a little bit and didn't get as far as we wanted to, but we're gonna mark these from underneath, line our holes, and actually drill some 5/16 holes that will eventually plug weld. So as a reminder, and I know we just showed it, but this is that nice long piece. And I've realized too, when I go into the catalogs now, most catalogs actually list a short and a tall. So I'll go to my Southern Chevelle catalog, find my floor pans. If you go to page 11 in their new catalog, I've never noticed it before. It clearly shows toe boards for a 68 to 69 right hand passenger side, 8 inches high, $65. The larger toe board, 13 inches high, is $10 for that extra metal. So just if folks are watching this and you're trying to do the same or working on your floor pans specifically come with that much shorter piece. I've already got it boxed up. I'm taking it home and we'll put it away if we ever need it. But this is that much shorter toe pan that comes with the kit. The gauge is even smaller. It's not as beefy. You can hear it, but we're okay. So we'll save that for another project, another day. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna flip this guy over. So it goes in like that. We know this is our firewall frame bracket, which sits on the outside. We're gonna mock this up here, best for the camera. Okay. We know it's gonna fit somewhere in there. Like that. All I'm gonna do is take my silver marker, because I'm gonna mark and I'm gonna add some holes so I can plug weld once I get everything in. So we know that's kind of our outer line here. So I'm going to trace the complete exterior of this. And you can tell by the way that this is stamped, there's portions of this, 1 inch, 1 1/4, that are designed to take a plug weld. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add that, like that. We know this comes up high. This is actually good. Good spot for a good solid weld. So I know I'm going to put holes here now. That happens to follow the natural. And so far the quality on all this, look, this is the cowl hinge assembly, super stout. We had talked about this, so this was why we're doing all this. This is that A-pillar, and we got what is the rocker cowl reinforcement panel finally mocked up in there. That's a huge win for me. But we got to open up some parts that came from Jegs on Wednesday and Friday, really before the storm came through. And it just takes me a little while to get all this stuff working. So we were able to get this. This is that toe pan. We drilled the spot welds holes where I'll do some plug welds, and we got this bracket on the back just vice gripped in there. So what I'm going to do is I'll actually put this on the frame. It'll go to where it wants. And then when I start to do the floor, we'll screw everything tight to it, and then I'll plug weld these plug welds. So that was a nice win. So we know that's gonna work just great. And then we struggle a little bit, almost a day, to figure out this. This is the dash piece that I got from the parts car, and we said it was rough. So that's all the dash, right? I ordered this piece, and we've already talked it, but this was the piece that you have to cut off if you're working on a 68 and 69. So not the end of the world, but it took me a couple hours to just confirm that I was doing it the right way and not wasting that $65 piece. And I'll put the part number down there. I've already cut it. It's a Jegs 68 to 72 lower window patch, and it's gonna work just great. But it took me a little while, you know, to get it. So we're gonna close out there. Thanks everybody. Andrew's out shoveling our car on the side road. It got snowplowed in. We're gonna finish this video. Thanks everybody for watching. Keep grinding.